much, Chris, and I'm a Brady fan too as well. Boston, y'all ready to get this day started? I hope you guys stayed warm getting here. You're super cozy at home as well with your watch parties. Make sure you tweet out and let everybody know that the stream is starting now. Coming to the stage first, this squad is well rested and looking to get this stage shaking. Stand clear, because here comes New York. Boston, make some noise for your rivals. It's the Major 1 champions, the New York Subliners. Give it up for Priestahh, KiSMET, Skyz, and HyDra, your New York Subliners.
Our Major 1 champions taking the stage now, hoping that they took their dogs for a walk after their loss yesterday to blow off some steam. Calm and composed in this matchup is what we need out of them. And I'm looking at the main duo in KiSMET and HyDra. But they have to get through this wall first, Blaze. Bring them on out.
Yep, it's time to bring out their opponents. Soaring in from across the pond, looking to swoop in and take the win. Get ready, because here come the Ravens. For the first time this weekend, make some noise for the London Royal Ravens. We got Scrapz back to the stage. Nastie, Simp, and Paulie. Give it up for the London Royal Ravens.
Well, our 12th seed takes the stage. Nothing left to lose, but a lot to prove. They've had a very tumultuous start in the CDL. Redemption is only ever a series away. We've got Scrapz returning for the first time in over a year. We have aBeZy, who has been lighting up the league in every single series he plays. Can the London Royal Ravens cause another upset? Blaze, let's find out.
Bryce, we'll see if your boys can do it. Boston, y'all ready to get day 2 lit? All right, Miles, Chance, let's get it going.
Well, let's get it going indeed. I'm ready to rock and roll, man. It's getting a little chilly outside, very warm in here. We're ready to party. We've got a great series to start the day off. And Chance, how much would London love a big win over New York today?
Dude, it would be the most exciting thing. How much would the Boston fans like to eliminate New York like first thing for a top 12 placing? That could be an interesting dynamic behind this, but I think the pressure has to be on. London has quite literally nothing to lose in this series. You're going against the Major 1 champions. Everyone's expectation is that New York are going to win this series, and if you can play with nothing to lose, just come out and try to fry.
Nothing to lose, everything to gain for the Ravens. They've had, as Brycey put it, could not have said it better, a tumultuous start to the MW2 season. Let's see if they can't find some steady flight and keep things cruising over towards champs. Because again, points. Keeping an eye on the standings is another important thing, and the more wins you get at the start of the season, as London did last year, Chance, it booked them a ticket. But for now, eyes towards the tournament. Let's rock and roll, man. New York Subliners, a surprise defeat to Røkkr yesterday. You know they're going to be pissed today.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And it's going to be fun to see how they bounce back and make the adjustments as well. I know a focus point for me is like some of the vetoes that came through for New York yesterday, right? They had an 0-2 record on aLLeY control. Minnesota had a 5-0 record. They squared up, took the L, and even for this series, I know Ton touched on it, the like S&D record for London, it's like 5-13 overall. It has not been good. The 2 maps, though, that we have in this series are the 2 very best for London. So, honest to God, I think looking at the map set, this series is going to be a little bit closer than what the expectations lie. Of course, though, we are starting on a hotel hardpoint where New York, that is quite literally their home.
Yeah, it is indeed. We're excited to see, again, Scrapz, the big return to professional land. See how he performs here again, sorely missed, and of course the European community, a real character on the timeline and in-game. Let's see if he can bring some of that special magic today. Excited to see how he performs. They debut back here on land in the CDL. For the rest of the team, though, see if they can bring some of that fire chance, because there's been some great moments for the Ravens just now to close out this big series, and an opponent like the Subliners is going to be a tough one.
It's going to be a tough one without question. Just even trying to manage, again, that KiSMET and HyDra duo, some of the very best, if not the best in the league. Never fun players to go against. It is kind of funny, though, of like how the year started for both of these teams. London started off 2-0. New York started off 0-2. They actually matched up against each other, and London did 3-0 this squad, so that's sort of like kick off the year. Obviously how things have changed since then, but in that series it wasn't even just the team. Nastie balled out, had one of his best series potentially of his career, dropped ridiculous numbers the entire time. That's the kind of performance you're gonna need, especially if you are not just last in rotations but also last in breaks. You need to bring out your Sunday best here on this early Friday.
It's an early Friday, but let's get it, ladies and gentlemen, into map number 1. We go to the Breenbergh Hotel for the first of a few nights here. New York Subliners, London Royal Ravens. Let's get Friday started. Here we go.
Hey, good luck with this one, London. I mean, starting off on, somewhat of the preferred side, but honestly, not even for the opening rig. New York do get to the hard point first. It is all about spawn management after the fact, and that is a couple Ravens literally flying through and looking for these early flanks. Gets red though, Skyz takes him down with the tack, and New York for the moment, they've been comfortable until they get shot in the back.
There we go, Ravens battling back on towards the hard point. They've got right hand side of the minimap controlled. So far, so good for the London Royal Ravens. We'll see if Nastie can catch out a few more. Skyz there from up high. Gets towards the hard point, and here come the Subliners, seemingly uncontested in the battle. Scrapz gets 1. That's going to be a clean break. They're losing right hand side of the map as well. P2 now in contest.
Yeah, talk about the key gunfights as well. Paul X is, well, not even going to have to manage 2. He just loses the first gunfight in the Subliners. Not only are they like, sort of fighting for Scrap that final 10 seconds, but they just have complete domination on the lower side of the map. It's Scrapz the man trying to make the play, but he's getting tagged up on the cross. He needs to post up as long as possible. That is a good start.
Hey, Marshall back at it. 3-1 so far. KiSMET has eyes on. P2 is up. Right-hand side of the minimap, the lobby. The Ravens are in a position now to pounce. Will they be able to catch out a few kills and win these fights? Nastie starts things off. There's a seam. Here comes Scrapz. Checks it. Gets it. Trades are there. Ravens are on point, and that's a break.
I mean, that's beautiful. Get your trophy main AR in the back spawns. Lock it down for your team and make sure that you are clean and poised for these final few moments. Not even final few. A lot of time left on this hill. Bit scrappy, though, and even as this 2-piece isn't good enough. New York do get the re-break on the point, and more importantly for New York, KiSMET already hitting that rotation. No one from the Ravens is starting to roam towards the next hill. They're worried about the break, so this is the setup for New York. KiSMET right now trying to make the play.
The tactical retreat from the London Royal Ravens towards the kitchen, but there he is, KiSMET hiding in the bush. He's the man to watch now for the New York Subliners. Let's see what happens. As Paul X and co, the rest of the Ravens going to make their way into that hard point, and KiSMET ready to pounce. A sneaky player indeed.
All about timing as well. Or if it just falls into your lap, you take the freebies, and again, KiSMET trying to dance and just cause problems, because now for Ravens, the pressure in the hill, so many directions to look. KiSMET's just buying time because it's Priestahh moving in for the flank, and you see kills traded back and forth. Dashy trying to snake, and he does so successfully. Ravens, in spite of KiSMET's best efforts, lock down the rotation and keeping this game afloat.
Yeah, good stuff out of the Ravens once again. Scrapz keeping it going for the lads. There you have it. 6-5 for him. It's 7-4 for Nastie. He's been the man who's been slaying out for the Ravens. Priestahh now. Backdoor entry. Pinches on point. That's HyDra contesting. Here comes the hit. Flying forward. Anyone get him? A seam. No. Big work out of the Subliners. Another break.
Big wins right there. Priestahh putting on a little bit of work as well. The 3 spree to make sure you get that final bit of scrap on Kitchen. So it took a long time to orchestrate it. The Subliners building themselves a nice little lead in a 2-piece like that. You get some pressure towards the front of the hill. This is one, if Subliners are able to break down, they can make massive problems in this game. But HyDra last man standing. Ravens, though, they seem to be aware.
Can they deal with HyDra? Another sneaky little thorn in their side. There's Nastie, does win the fight. That's the back line safe. Look at the front line now, pushed all the way forward. Skyz is having to contend with a Seam, who is running around, causing nothing but problems. Good work out of Skyz. Nastie once again winning these fights. Meanwhile, the whole time, that's Ravens in the point.
Yeah, and I think Subliners might have to chalk it up and basically just hit through the front. Skyz working through mid, he'll take the freebie, but those yellow arrows are trying to work through the, B hard point zone, or control zone rather. They find the entrance, they find the clearance, and honestly, all that work that Nastie just did, taking players down on the flank, now you turn to that sort of scrappy fight just on the front end, but looks like the pressure from Subliners enough just to keep him at bay.
Yeah, keep him at bay, keep the time ticking now. Looking to get 100 points here if you can secure the hard point here, Subliners. Paul wins a big fight. That's going to be a nice lockdown now over to Priestahh, trying to get his way in. Does get it. Here comes the Seam. Now, Priestahh find any more this time. The final 10. Good stuff out of the Ravens. Keeping the game a decent contest, but hey, at this moment, chance we're worried. Subliners still so strong, they could run away with it.
Well, you saw the stats at the start, right, for London. It is last in rotations, last in breaks. That is a perfect rotation where they just break the Subliners down right from the jump. Get inside, ready to go, but Subliners do have a pinch on the hill. Scrapped every direction to look. Not easy to deal with these players, and it's looked like Trey's back and forth. The break doesn't take long at all. New York just steamrolled them in the restaurant.
Brilliant stuff out of the New York Subliners there. Once again, another clean break. Scrapz back at it now, trying to keep the Ravens' foothold in the hard point alive. Priestahh dives out of the point into the kill feed. KiSMET with 3 in a row. That's a 5 spree for him. Priestahh as well. It's a clean sweep for the Subliners.
Yeah, couldn't hold that one for dear life. And this is Subliners. I mean, again, they got sort of the short end of the stick on the rotation, but making the best of it, building up a sizable lead now as well. And I know Nastie's been heads up on sort of finding these players, but now it's HyDra that's going to be making a sneaky play. He's the last one standing for his team, but honestly, HyDra right now in prime position to try to, peel this rotation, open up for the squad. Obviously, though, the timing is important because his teammates nowhere near him for the moment.
Scrapz has got to look for it, and I don't think he will. HyDra still lying in wait. Every single hard point, there is always a member of the Subliners, a sneaky member at that. Here comes Nastie next up. Can HyDra get it? What a tag's not enough, but his teammates are there. Now Scrapz brought down. Exceptional teamwork out of the Subliners once again.
Yeah, Scrapz maybe not used to playing without red dots on the mini-map. HyDra just getting away with the freebie, and a play like that, it is not always easy to count out players, but London dropped the ball just a little bit, and now Skyz back in his home, trying to do what he can. The snake's on point. Caesar in a cheeky little corner, making the play, staying alive, collecting this time, and right now for New York is the biggest lead they've had of the game.
So much damage across the board. Great comms, great crossfire once again. Subliners looking very strong indeed. Hard point still theirs. Ravens unable to get the break here towards glass. Seen a last-ditch attempt, not enough. Nastie does get the kill, doesn't get the time though. So once again, back over towards the middle of the map. The next set of hard points now upon us. Here we go.
Honestly, it was a super tight game, more or less like a 30-point gap between the two teams for most of the hills. Then HyDra makes one sneaky play like that, which honestly, I think he made the exact same play yesterday. So New York again on this hotel map. They are wheeling and dealing. This is why they love it so much.
We go, New York Subliners. A sizable lead going into the second set. Let's go for a listen in with New York.
Yo, pitch start if you want. Okay, what's the window? Test spot, one shot. No, yo, cheers. One shot. Nice, stay alive, stay alive. They're beat diner. Nice, bro. I spawned diner, guys. There's one bed. Wood. Left side or right? No, mid. He's already P2 heady. I got stun. I'm with you. I'm watching my hole. Back hole weak. He left side. Ace him. Yo, chill. Oh, he's weak on the Paul.
You didn't shot me?
I spawn.
Yo, one shot old Scrapz. There's 2 old. One's going dubs. 2 chairs. They're gonna be
Cheers. I can help you. He pushed up.
I can help you before whoever's there.
There's 2 chairs.
He's lobby there.
Chair me, chair dead.
Nice.
There's no one there, right?
Scrapz was there.
I'm gonna go.
Yo, push out. Diner.
Yeah, diner weak.
Asim's going dubs.
He's going dubs. Cheers to come mid. Behind you, Asim. He's weak.
Hold on, I can help you, Tom.
I spawn left. I spawn diner, guys. I spawn diner.
I need help. He's lobby on you. Nice.
In the hill, secret side. Oh, the right. They're both there. Close right. Nice. I'm getting your hold. Menu secret. Yeah, secret stairs.
Secret got me, not weak.
Asim.
Back right, just ironing.
Asim. Good job.
Quite frankly, Charles, it sounds like the Subliners are having fun. A little bit of frustration in the individual engagements, but such great control over the whole game.
Well, the frustration is only going to continue for these guys, though, if London somehow set themselves up on rotation. But it looks like the AR is making the break towards old, chipping away a little bit of that time. And again, it is KiSMET on rotation, but this time he's got his entire team here for support. And by the way, look at Priestahh. Now with the Vaznev, the last still with the TAC, he bounces back and forth so often between these two weapons. And honestly, one of the key factors in New York's success.
There we go, New York back over to the kitchen this time round. They are first in, no sneaky plays needed. Here come the Ravens though, through the front. They've got nothing though to work with on the back line, so you have to concert your effort, try to get those trades and make them fast. Here we go, Priestahh, Vaznev in hand, 45, catches one, can't get anywhere out of it. Scrapz, Sally, a team kill, trophies down. Oh baby, Skyz once again, 22 and 15. Any more challenges here in the kitchen, or we're gonna keep soaking this time for the Subliners.
Yeah, now if you're a team, it is just a solo chow, nothing doing there. Nastie a solo chow after the fact, and unfortunately for him, nothing doing there. And maybe number 8 next in line, Paul X. Let's give it a go. Challenge by yourself. Skyz is going to pick him apart, and it is just a tough one over in the kitchen. London finding it impossible to break on through.
Okay, give up on the kitchen now, looking over towards the bar. Next hard points up. It's going to be 30 points now for the win for the New York Subliners. Nastie brought down by a big win from KiSMET there. And another to the pile for KiSMET. Paul says, no thanks. I'm not going in the highlight reel. I'll take that kill. Priestahh though, straight into the point we now go. Nades are there. Paul X is in a lot of trouble. Here comes HyDra as he keeps the slaying going. Skyz as well. Subliners in the driver's seat.
Yeah, Paul X might have dodged the highlight reel, but did not dodge death, and it's looking like this might be the end of the game. London, though, trying to break through straight from the front, and if you can pin the Subliners back in this spawn, there's an opportunity to chain hills together, so really the biggest moment for London to attempt to get back in this game. Skyz shooting at players through walls, through pillars, and maybe wants to rotate over to the desk just to get him away from this time, but you see Subliners, it is not easy to make moves. They try to pierce through with the SMGs, and not successful for the moment. London doing a decent job, getting a couple kills, and you still have Subliners stuck in that spawn.
A strong base of fire there from the Subliners. Was not enough to crack through the Ravens. Still Nastie holding it down. Anyone there to contest? Yeah, HyDra's in, but he's brought down again. Mr. Plumridge finding the kills across the board. 24 and 23 for him. Can they keep it going? Over towards the final seconds of bar and into the restaurant, and it's KiSMET once again in first.
And London basically just gave that up. I mean, KiSMET wins one gunfight. Now you have no pressure over towards the restaurant, and you are now 10 seconds away from York to win this game. You didn't get in the right position to actually try to get the control and snake these players and try to get the kills. So now you get one good shot, and you gotta fly. Scrapz finally making moves. Instantly gets killed, and it looks like 249, 250. New York Subliners get it done.
It was panic on the streets of London in the final moments of that hard point, but no one able to make those late breaks. And once the Subliners got going, choo-choo, all aboard. They did not stop until they reached that destination of 250. Kudos to them. GG's, they're in map 1. The Ravens, a little bit of work to do still on Hotel.
I mean, this is just one of those maps for the New York Subliners, though, that they are incredibly comfortable. Again, Priestahh, I think literally half his kills on the map are with a Vaznev, so he bounces back and forth between those two weapons constantly. KiSMET's on point for the rotations. HyDra's going to do his job every single day and slay out of his mind. And even for like the, maybe the moment of the game, HyDra's making that sneaky play on the back plat hill and just blows the game wide out in the open. And after that, London they were already playing on the back foot. It just gets that much worse. But as far as the series goes, for that map, that's the expectation. Subliners, a clear-cut edge on Hotel hardpoint. In my opinion, this is where the series genuinely starts to get interesting. Right when this S&D shows up, this is where I think the Ravens have the potential.
Well, we'll see. In a moment, we'll take a look at the highlights there from map number 1, Breenbergh Hotel. Nothing too wild and crazy across the board from the stats. Skyz playing with an unparalleled level of confidence right now. Certainly took yesterday's defeat against Røkkr personally. Now, though, look at the highlights of what was a relatively quick game of hardpoint.
Absolutely, and I think Scrapz maybe feeling the pressure, right? Like, welcome back to LAN, welcome back to the main stage. First series, he gets dished up in over a year. He gets fed to the Major 1 champion, so got to knock the ring rust off a little bit. Yeah, I think 18 and 26 might have been his stat line for the map 1, but not easy to be an AR player in a world like this, playing off the back foot. So definitely looking for a bounce back on map 2.
Yeah, we're seeing more and more Vaznev submachine guns being used on a map-by-map basis, especially here at Major 2. But as you can see, it's certainly is the 7-sheet gun players world right now. Kudos again to Skyz, putting up great numbers with that tack in hand. Great stuff, though, out of the New York Subliners. A strong showing, what you would expect, again, after what was a tough loss yesterday. Let's see if they can keep it going, because chance, if the series now starts, Search and Destroy, that's on the menu next.
And again, just to highlight like the pick and bans coming through from New York. I know stage 2 is talked about on the desk quite a bit, how they had opportunities because they have the top seed to play with their map set. I know they played a ton of LSCLO Search and Destroy throughout the stage. While that was originally in stage 1, their auto veto, that means they've only played Mercado once, and that was back in stage 1. Even for the Hotel S&D throughout this stage, I think they've only played it like a single time. So they have very few reps on these maps, at least recently. And meanwhile, for London, it's like the 5-13 record overall on S&D, but on these 2 maps, they're positive on both of them. So this is best case scenario for the Ravens. You're taking the Subliners on the map. They've only played a single time. And obviously, it means you don't have a lot of VOD. It's not like you know entirely what their game plan is going to be, but on Mercado, for the most part, most teams, it's played straight up, straightforward over around that A site.
We are hearing a change, though, of course, with the desk talking about, you know, the way Vito's working at the moment. Not necessarily about picking out your opponent's good maps, but playing your best ones. That's what the Ravens going for here. Better. All right, mate. He made a face. You couldn't see it. He made some face, chat.
I was just having flashbacks to Boston where we're like, oh, we're playing like on our best maps. That's why we didn't ban Embassy S&D against Atlanta FaZe. I was like, well, I mean, look, that's an option. You are legally allowed to do these things, but we'll see how it pans off for the Subliners. I know, again, they're making all these adjustments throughout stage 2. They are deepening the map pool, and it's going to be a very fun look for these guys on Mercado, because, again, if they've only played it once and they're pulling it out now at the major, I have to imagine they have something good cooked up, and obviously they're going to be a well-orchestrated team.
Well, let's see what happens. Again, we've got Search and Destroy, go back to Hotel for Control, and if we have to, all the way to Game 5, Control as well. So it's a 3-night stay in the Breenbergh, ladies and gents. But see how the Mercado goes, chance again. A mixy map, crazy things can happen. I mean, the way that the Ravens are shooting right now, Nastie in particular, very, very strong showing from the first map, despite the overwhelming odds and the suffocating gameplay from the New York Subliners. I wouldn't be too surprised if we see a dicey game.
It's also a map where like a ton of it is like just around like the opening breaks with like the pre-nades coming through, and after that it's really about your SMGs with the opportunity to make plays, the timings of the jump ups in the windows, when you want to challenge out across like the tunnel over by the A site, or I mean Shotzzy is probably one of the best players at it, of timing out those flanks to go around and try to blow the map open. So I'm looking to see him and Nastie, both incredible playmakers. Like Paul X and Scrapz just had to like keep things slow and let those guys get to work. I think the potential is absolutely there. Of course, though, talk about playmakers on one side, KiSMET, HyDra. Also, you know, it's what they do. It really is what they do.
Yeah, because this is one of the maps we did see the New York Subliners win that championship on all the way back at Major 1 in Raleigh in 2022. Feels like a lifetime ago. See if the Ravens have got what it takes to muscle their way through, because so far, their road to the Major has been a difficult one at that. Losses across the board, despite the 3-1 victory to Legion chance, which admittedly was a very big surprise. A tough loss there, of course, to Ultra, and a tough one of the Thieves.
An interesting note about their road to the Major, right? When you get Scrapz back after like a year-long hiatus sort of thing, I know his KD was suffering early on, like dropping a 0.7, then a 0.8, but over time, he started to make improvements, and in that series against the Vegas Legion, Scrapz dropped like a 1.8, had an absolutely monster performance, and then Asim, the other guy, who has been the star player for this team, one of the best players in the game. It's not, in my opinion, a good sign when Asim is having to pop off for you to have any hope of success. You want him to be the setup man for your team. So we saw Scrapz starting to get better. Asim started to have more ordinary stat lines, and as a team, London looked better. So while Asim has that pop-off potential, I'm hoping it is going to be a well-rounded effort from the squad. But if there's a man that has been on point throughout this year, again, Asim, he has entered this year completely different.
Yeah, you don't necessarily want that individual player to have those crazy stat lines. That's not necessarily a good thing for the roster in general. But we will see as we're almost ready to get into this Search and Destroy.
I mean, it's just painful when they're dropping bombs like 16 kills in Search and Destroy and losing. Again, it's much better when a team is going dead, even collecting some time, being the route man, and setting his teammates up for success. So I know that's what he loves to do. I know that's what he gets paid for and how he pays the bills. And that is when the London team has been at their best. So we'll see if we can get back to that. But the S&D, we go. Mercado, we've talked about it. We've broken it down. And maybe the final bit of conversation is just whether or not Skyz is going to be rocking the snipe, and I think he did have it in hand.
Did have it in hand. Here we go. Mercado Las Almas. Once more, another fun search here in the series. Vamos Vaqueros, which I think means let's go Cowboys. That's what they call them in the game. Has anyone else played the campaign? Thought it was damn lit. Let's get it.
These are my people.
Subliners on defense first. Here come the nades from the Ravens. Will they meet their... Oh, look at that. It's a Michael Bay movie.
Well, now the question is, how quick are you going to jump on it, though? The Michael Bay movie is going to clear out the site completely. It's only Skyz with the sniper, and this is a heavy stack over towards B on defense. It's been left open. Ravens, you have to read this quickly because that flank is coming.
Looks like Skyz might have been pirating this one. He was streaming it from home. He gets in a bit of trouble there. 20 HP remaining. Backs on up. Bomb planted now for the Ravens. It's going to be a good old-fashioned 4v4 retake. Will Skyz be able to sniff anyone out? Here come the Subliners.
Oh, we saw Guerrillas try to do this. The triple chow from the flank. Scrapz just does not care. It's the first blood. You try to roll through, and everything is covered. The perfect round one strat without the trophies. Leaving HyDra in a situation to try to clutch, but
oh, wait a minute.
1v4. Good luck with this one.
Oh, wait a minute. Good luck. He might not need luck. Okay, definitely needs a little bit more than luck. Needs a sanity check after that one.
And again, it's that perfect round one strat. No trophies on board. You have all the nades in the world. You could bully out the side, and I think New York went with a very bold call to, I'm sure they were throwing nades back, but the triple flank off the rip, the only way that probably doesn't pan out for the Ravens if they wait too long to go for the bomb plant, but they read the situation well, had the flank covered, and as soon as Scrapz gets that first blood, everything is that much easier after the fact. So wonderful stuff by the Ravens for round one.
Wouldn't expect to see a round like that again. Subliners play it very safe, no trophies in play. They don't want to get naded out. They give up the site entirely. Let's see what happens this time around. They are flying forward. That trophy helps. HyDra tagged up just a little. He's still fighting fit, though. Here come the Ravens. Right in through the inside of the canteen. Asim in and out. Nade's going to land. Might not get the kill. He's in a sweet position to somehow stay alive. Good coverage. Not enough, though. HyDra finds the angle. First blood there. Skyz gets involved as well. A little bit of a rebuttal from the Ravens, but not quite enough. Man advantage, New York.
Yeah, not easy to try to make that play for Asim. Just gets found out, and a bunch of players in the back alley. Skyz is challenging, and Scrapz is now in a 1 versus 3. If you can rip Priestahh off the heady, there is hope, but if he crosses the safety, that'll be the round, but that is the exact start Scrapz needed.
Just beams all around, non-stop. Who's that? Sneaky spot to be in. I think it was HyDra there in that tiny little close L. Great work out of the New York Subliners. They equalize happily after that first round.
Well, the Mercado dream right now. Back-to-back rounds on offense. You just bully it out, you throw a bunch of nades, you get control, and you win the round. Nothing fancy there, and even HyDra, nice start. 2 kills for every round he has been a part of. Obviously, incredibly efficient work in the map one as well. Just another day in the office for HyDra.
Here we go. Another round now for Ravens on offense. Will history repeat itself? Nab that bomb, nades over the top towards A. And let's see how comfortable they look now with a lot of trophies at play for the New York Subliners. Here we go. They're up and about. Oh, it still gets pulled. That's unlucky, mate. The trophy was down.
Yeah, the timing of the trophy, it has to open itself almost. So, hey, free first blood. Exactly what the Ravens were looking for. You push out, you get control, and they don't seem to be interested in the bomb plant just yet. And this is a triple stack in the tunnel. New York are going for it in a seam. Read it like a book and pick them apart.
Oh, kill cam, please. Oh, wait a minute. Here it comes. Oh, it was Paul, the last one.
Yeah, Paul got the freebie.
Asim picks his way forward, takes care of business, and wow, good work out of the Ravens there to read the tunnel play.
And 3 for 3 on offense. Again, this is exactly the way the map is almost designed to be played. And the perfect nades as well, right from the jump. It's always nice to see frags in the mix over the Simp Texas. I'm a fan.
Here we go. Nothing out of KiSMET just yet. 0-3 for him and for Priestahh. Nades up over the top. Will they land? Ravens, they're in position to maybe catch an or two. It's a tag.
And I think Subliners in this moment maybe trying to play a bit of that information game, right? A full spread across the map, maybe waiting for flanks, maybe trying to get KiSMET in the mix. If you have Skyz watching over him, almost assuredly with the snipe, you want to keep that middle of the map open. Maybe let KiSMET make a play. But right now for London, I think they're probably playing a guessing game of, wait a minute, did these guys go to B? There's been almost no noise. They know about Priestahh, but they don't know if he has the bomb. And London might start to overcommit, work through a tunnel, and they're just going to get caught. Asim, though, able to catch at least one. Doesn't get out with his life, but this is just a difficult round, I think, for London to read.
It was a big brain play from the Subliners. Hasn't paid off. Nastie takes care of Skyz. 40 seconds left, and HyDra Dead silence is going to make him move. Oh, and he's shooting good too. That's a bad look for Nastie, unfortunately. Paul, will he be able to pick up this trade? He does. Good work there. Ravens still holding the advantage here. It's a 2v1.
Yeah, tough to read, but a couple of these kills just fall into your lap, and Priestahh 0-3 for the moment, gets the bomb down for free, and there is a decent bit of clutch potential in this moment. He does have dead silence to work with, and he's trying to make the play straight away.
And he's gone straight towards the middle of the map, looking for the cross. Oh, he could catch a couple here. Oh, bad positioning, bad timing, Paul X. Great work, ample time to get the defuse. Scrapz would be the man to dive on it. Going to want to wait until their dead silence finishes, so you see them take a little bit of time here, pause, reflect on what was a great round. The Ravens sit at 3-1.
Again, you know, this is one of the few maps for Search and Destroy that London enjoy playing on and have a decent bit of success. They had a quad stack basically down low by the A site, because that is the typical Mercado play. And I mean, London, they left the bomb towards the A site. Everybody else was making plays on different sections of the map. And obviously you saw a couple of those Ds. Honestly, if a team doesn't get that first blood, I think York probably end up just winning the round and the play works out perfectly. But Asim breaks it down just enough to set his teammates up. And I mean, hey, 3-1 lead right now. Priestahh and KiSMET 0-8 combined. Ravens happy right now to fly.
Well, the ballsy play from Asim pays off. Here we go, though. Another round for the New York Subliners now on defense. Can they catch them out? Nade's been great from the, there we go, from the Ravens. A little bit of a trade back, but you got full control of the A courtyard now. Big work there on the tags from Nastie. Trades out from Skyz. 3v3.
And that's a quick one as well. Nastie jumps out far enough. You might actually have enough control to try to get this bomb planted quickly or challenge in the tunnel, and Nastie's going to do it. Skyz kills a teammate, and just like that, Ravens looking like they're going to go up 4-1 unless Priestahh can find a way. That is quite the start. He is being hunted down.
Well, hunted, is it enough? Asim wins the big one. Ravens with the numbers as they are running it forward. The confidence starting to build. 4-1.
This is kind of like a bit of a breakdown as well. A couple team kills coming through, a couple dominant rounds for Ravens. And you're seeing a bit more intense look on their faces, giving them a little bit of confidence as well. Smile on Paul X's face, and again, I'm just thinking about that search and destroy. There's a look at the team kill that came through. Unfortunate lineup, and even for Nastie. I mean, the stuns coming through, the coordination on point right from the jump. Happy to be a playmaker. And Priestahh was at least able to get on the board, but KiSMET still 0-5.
0-5 still. We'll see if he can't get something going. We're running out of rounds, mate. 6-2 for Paul X. After getting beamed from Skyz, he managed to turn this game right around. Here comes the close range. Oh, nade! HyDra at 2 right off the rip. The nade lands, and another team kill! Another from New York. What is going on?
All right, we'll see in the 2v3. Scrapz and Paul X can make something happen. Cheeky spot from Paul X. Maybe Wall X is what he's going for, but not quite enough there. And I think you agree the bomb down, nice little triangle around the site. And honestly, for Scrapz, I mean, you're not getting through this. If you're Paul X, probably not getting through the tunnel as well. I think they're maybe trying to group up together or time out this as well as they can, but these are insanely difficult gunfights to win.
Oh, Scrapz in the kill box right now. He's been spotted. Skyz maybe there. Priesth's got eyes on it as well. I mean, it's a matter of time. No hope whatsoever. The New York team killers get around.
I almost want the stats of if you're on offense and you get a guy in that little jump up ledge the HyDra was on, your odds of winning after the fact. Because I feel like anytime someone gets to this spot, it's just dominant. You're always making plays, and HyDra literally a hop, skip, and a jump that direction. Free two-piece and killed him so fast he didn't even realize that he got both.
And then Priestahh took care of him. Crazy, crazy turn of events.
That's
4-2, straight cold-blooded. Let's see what happens once again. Ravens have been very strong in these attacking rounds. Will they find another? As HyDra managed to heat things up just enough to make it uncomfortable. Here we go, Subliners on defense.
If it ain't broke, though, don't fix it, right? Just straight back over, exact same site. Pressure's right on, but Nastie making a slight adjustment, but still aggressive. And all about this timing. Priestahh looking at the door, and you see they've already got one man in position. But HyDra does get first blooded, so another advantage towards London. That flank got read perfect.
Yeah, all eyes forward now. This should be great. KiSMET's in a sweet spot. Will they check it? They don't. Nastie gets just to safety. KiSMET somehow runs inside. Pandemonium all left now on Skyz. In the 1v2, turns it into a 1v1. It's on Nastie. Shoulders are being thrown. Is the possibility now to slow this down, pump the brakes, shows something up. Skyz, though, with attack in hand. He's not going to let this one go.
Oh, that's good movement as well. Instead of getting caught in the alley, able to hold an iron for a moment and back up. He knows he has the right gun for the job, but maybe now a bit of a guessing game. You see, Nastie actually did pop dead silence. So he's going to start moving around. And this is great timing potentially for Nastie.
Oh, he's coming up on it. Skyz, he's still got his eyes on the prize. Nastie, though, he's sneaking. He's sneaking. Here it comes. The Ravens keep it together. Map point.
Yeah, that's a wonderful read by Nastie. I don't know if he like caught an elbow or something on Skyz going in, but Nastie was locked in, knew what the play call was gonna be, and took his time after the dead silence runs out. Big round to get, because that was nearly a 2v4 clutch by HyDra and Skyz. So definitely a dangerous one, but right back to the A site they go. They have been on point with the first bloods. And this is a Mercado. The New York Subliners do not have a ton of reps on. They have played it once, and that was back in stage 1. I think right now they're feeling a bit of that pain.
Yeah, right now it's showing. Nades up, tags, damage dealt. Not enough to get the kills this time though. Subliners, in position, a big win, trades there. Skyz, great job of the last few bullets there to take care of Nastie. Eliminates him from play, 3v2.
Well, I wonder if you can actually use the same spot for PaulX that he was going for last time. It's Priestahh on the bomb side again, and Scrapz actually does get it picked. Nothing there for Paul though, so the bomb does go down, but much better off this time, especially if you line up Scrapz. They're right in front of you.
Oh, he's tagging him. Can't quite bag him yet, though. Paul in position. The trap is set. The reach out for the second. He was feeling it. Scrapz is on the flank now, though. Going for it. Is this Mack? It's a 1v1. And KiSMET has had a rough run on Mercado so far.
Yeah, but he can run, right? If you got the dead silence, you can afford to fly. You know you're dealing with the AR, but PaulX, this is the spot. We talk about the spot used to perfection in a dominant S&D win against those Major 1 champs. What a bounce back game for London.
And that's the spot right there. Ravens manage to tie it up. We go 1-1 as Mercado comes to a close, and a very dominant display, 6-2. As the Subliners didn't have a whole lot in the tank there, Chance.
Not at all. I mean, again, looking at the maps, we kind of said it. The Hotel Hardpoint, we kind of knew how it was going to go, but after that, that is where the series begins. So now we're tied up and basically just playing a best of 3. We go back to Hotel control for the next one, but London clearly has some fight in them. That is, I mean, again, 6-2, dominant performance. The first blood's completely on point. I mean, HyDra was able to deliver 3 for his team, but didn't really make too much of a difference towards the end. A team effort across the board. Everybody for Ravens showing up.
Yep, whether it was showing up, whether it was great nades, opening breaks, fantastic. Good work on the retakes there, and a lot of clutch in those 1v1s. Good work out of the London Royal Ravens, making the series that bit more interesting. Speaking of the series, though, we go back now to Hotel. Full control, Fortress Hotel for that game 5. Chance, how are we feeling, man? Are we going to see this get closed out?
Look, Hotel control, there is a clear-cut advantage to the Subliners, but it is London's favorite map to play. London are in a weird spot for that map where they actually have a great KD, like the 4th or 5th best overall, so they're finding the kills, just not executing, getting the wins, but the potential's there. And then on Outbacker Fortress Hardpoint, 3-1 record compared to the 3-5 New York, so a lot of potential on the next 2 maps.
Well, there's a lot going to be going on the next 2 maps. Ladies and gents, don't go too far. We're going to go to a quick commercial break. On the other end, we're playing Control there on Hotel.
The Call of Duty League is presented by the GMC Hummer EV Pickup, the world's first all-electric super truck. Upgrade your game with the Scuff, the official controller of the Call of Duty League.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Major 2. We're about to get into Game 3, and for those of you in the venue, you know there's a whole load going on. We got everything from Scuffs to BR Paradox Customs to all sorts of goodies. Boston Breach Merc actually flying off the shelves. I need to hit that one up before everything sells out. And for those that the guy plays on stage, throwing t-shirts at people. No, not a safety hazard. He's a gentle giant. I saw the parachute appear behind us because they're like, he's throwing them far, and they parachute down. This is crazy, insane stuff. We wish you could be here. You in chat, give us a 1. I'll give you a moment to deliver. We're almost ready to get under the control. Let's go.
I'm sure the chat's going to absolutely deliver on that. A lot of parachutes in the building. Wasn't expecting that at all. And I don't know how many people were expecting this series to be tied up going into map 3. But again, London playing with absolutely nothing to lose. And your Major 1 champions staring down the barrel of a top 12 placing. So this is delicate hours. And this is the moment, I think, for London to really prove their worth and show what they're made of. Back to a respawn, back to Hotel. I know the map number 1, not the funnest thing in the world for the Ravens fans, but on control, a wealth of possibilities. Again, offensive round win percentage, phenomenal for New York, but still respectable for London. Honestly, both of those respectable for London. It's just been in the clutch where they have faltered.
Let's see if they can get the clutch going, because everyone in London, you know, you do have to learn how to drive manual. None of that automatic nonsense we have out here. Here we go. Priestahh trying to get himself over towards B. He's on attack. Can he find anyone? He's run past all the members of the Ravens and brought down in a hail of gunfire. HyDra, though, the last man standing. He's going to get that capture going, and it's potential for a 2-man stack.
Well, if you're near 80% winning your offensive rounds, this is as good as it gets. And I think London, not even particularly interested in fighting for it for the moment. I think they've realized, well, that tick progression isn't going super fast, so we might as well try to fight it if there's no stack. And wrapping back, seeing the first one in, and he's the second one to fall. KiSMET ripping their heads off, and that surely is going to be the setup. And if you're London, you don't need to take these gunfights anymore. This point is gone. You need to get your butt over towards that A zone, because you see how quick New York are jumping on it.
Get them tushes over towards the A side of the map. That's where we're going now. And it's team kills, unfortunately. Yasim, the man in. HyDra, surely he reads this. Great time in there. As I think there may be a nade on the floor, but that's not going to slow him down whatsoever. Big work out of Paul. Stay alive there. The life count, though, for the New York Subliners. Another glaring sign of their dominance so far.
I mean, this is just problematic. London, again, instead of rotating over to A zone to defend, they just have players taking gunfights over towards B when it's basically already gone, and they are getting punished for it. And number 2 just spawned up next to Kitchen. So I don't think he's going to read that Scrapz is nearby, but he does read the gunny. KiSMET takes him down. Everything's safe and secure. This is a clinical round coming in from New York.
22 lives for the Subliners, 14 for the Ravens. Can they get the break here towards the A zone? Better late than never, but you've got to get going, boys. The team cut down. HyDra 2 in the feed. KiSMET gets his as well. Last man up. Scrapz doesn't get it. New York Subliners win the round.
Okay, that might answer our question about how the hotel control is going to go. That was no effort, no time wasted from New York. They walked straight into the B zone, took that one. KiSMET popping plays as well, and a very easy rotation over towards A. And I think London, if they wanted to, could have made it a little bit easier for New York, but they're trying to keep the guns warm, you know?
Got to keep them barrels smoking. Here we go, though, another round. New York Subliners now on defense. Ravens, they will be attacking A and B. 30 lives apiece. And it's the first to fall. Here we go. Ravens need this one. You don't want to be walking down that 2-0. We've seen a few full reverse sweeps in the control mode in the tournament already, but they're not that common. Here we go.
The Ravens are trying to give themselves options as well, almost playing it like a round of S&D, a little spread across the board. And if you're talking about S&D, they got first blooded and second blooded, and Nastie might just be the next man in line. And New York Subliners are already all over your base, have a decent bit of control around the map, have players in kitchen, and Ravens for the moment yet to get near a point, but it looks like B might be open. You do have number 6 on your screen, Asim, the opportunity to make plays as Ravens trying to scrounge their way through the middle of the map and help them out.
The Ravens do a little bit more than scrounger. They've won almost every single fight in the journey towards the B zone. Here comes a 2-man stack, a little bit late. However, you do have the members of the Subliners on spawning. Can Scrapz slow them down on a force breeze? About to come to a close. Oh, I love that. More than his fighting senses tingling there. Wasn't going to win those fights. Get his teammates now involved. Can they get over to the point? KiSMET wins a few more. Scrapz can't get any more in the feed. You manage to stop the play if you're the Subliners, and you stop the spree.
That big wins by KiSMET again. The little 1v1 on the point. You see New York Subliners, if KiSMET loses that gunfight, they probably flood back in towards that B zone, but now they can jump on the defense, and they can jump on the two-piece HyDra. Simply built different, and HyDra's still alive, but only for a moment. London have cleared him out, back to the A zone, more of a standard situation, but this is beautiful stuff by the Ravens so far. Already 2 ticks over towards B, and based on the setup from New York, that's getting chalked up that A zone. They want to try to defend this for the next minute and 40.
New York says forget about it. They're going to give up B, they're going to go towards A slowly but surely, let that one get captured, try to keep the members of the Ravens pinned. The top side of the map, that's KiSMET's job right now. He is the man on the door. And Nastie, I've seen the ID, and I want none of it. One segment remaining on B. If the Ravens are in, it's a good look, but you've got to get past KiSMET first.
And I think he's got a little bit of help. Nastie is going to be working with Scrapz, so they know KiSMET's nearby, but I think KiSMET right now trying to be aggressive on the play. But all that information Nastie's able to get, delivers to his teammate. You get the kill. So much pressure on the flank coming through. Nastie gets another kill as well in London. This is the switch. This is where the pressure's on. You are in a bit of a pinch. They're going to take their time for the moment. Try to read the corners, or maybe not. HyDra piercing their setup for the moment, and they still have that bedroom control.
Lovely work there on the defense from the New York Subliners. Nastie, though, still alive. Top bedroom. His teammates have got a lot of numbers over here, but you still have to find HyDra. That's the hardest part here to deal with. Slow and steady capture. And then when they're on B, yep, they're going to stack it for a second. That's the round. Great work out of the Ravens.
Well, bang, there you go. I thought that stun not connecting on HyDra down low might have been a bit of a giveaway, but they read it, took care of business, and maybe an offensive shootout we might have on this map. A little bit more effort from the Ravens, but they took care of business. And Scrapz, by the way, I think he enjoyed that S&D. A little bit more time to get the gun hot. 10 and 5 through those first 2 rounds. If your AR is feeling good, you will absolutely have a good time. Maybe just get a C more in the mix. Honestly, him and Paul X, yeah, struggling just a little bit, but a lot of that was from round 1.
Tough round 1. Confidence is key here in the Call of Duty League. Some players lose it, others fake it until they make it. Here we go into another round. Subliners, they are on attack, and they are heading towards B.
Stuns out and about for everybody. I think it actually didn't connect on Asim, even though it landed in his face. And yeah, Asim making the best of it. Started off with attack for the jump in a much better opening break right there for London. Decent bit of control. The B zone not getting captured for the moment. And so much coverage through mid right now for London. Trying to be delicate about how they want to approach this A zone.
Not delicate, they've got to get going though. 2 players on it, it's going fast. First segment down, 2 to go. You don't want to give this up now. A lot of time left still in the round to battle over it, and even more lives. Here we go though, London getting involved. They've stopped the progress. The second segment is gone though. Can they clear it up? Is Priestahh just lying in wait? KiSMET still dancing, and he's dancing, baby. 2 kills there. 3 now in a row. 15 and 8 overall.
Yeah, and standard round is you're going to get 2:08 on the clock right now for New York, who you can already see putting themselves in prime position. Start working this B zone. Asim is behind enemy lines. And they were aware of it, but Asim still wins the gunny. Paul delivers for the next one in London right now. Safe and secure on defense. They're reading the flank as well. They have the setup that they want. New York, though, trying to break it down. It's HyDra on one end, Priestahh on the other, looking to find that first opening.
Ravens did a great job last round of this slow and steady approach towards this B zone, 1 kill at a time. Make sure the power positions are safe. Clean that bedroom. Make that bed. Can they get it done? 19 lives now for the Subliners to attack with. Nastie loses a big one there to Priestahh. That's the back line open now.
Yeah, Scrapz though wins a big one over towards bedroom, so they're trying to just stay alive and effectively this 2 versus 3. Priestahh taking his time because he knows there's going to be spawners, but Skyz just killed all the spawners just like that. 3-man stack on the point. KiSMET reads the flank. You spawn so far away, and they just broke him down in this round.
There's a bundle of Subliners players over there by B. No one in position to really stop this. I think the round is done. KiSMET, he's holding them all back. He's got 1 kill from Asim there, but it's nowhere near enough. The Subliners, they found 1 opening, they took it, and that's the round. Map point.
I mean, that was just like dominoes, right? As soon as Skyz pops those 2 in the feed, it just gets completely opened up, and everybody on the Subliners, I mean, Priestahh working the flank for 30, 40 seconds, but as soon as the kills came through, in the perfect position just to pounce on the point. So, I mean, great work by Subliners through and through, as clinical as it gets on offense. And KiSMET, by the way, 19 kills, that's not too shabby. A couple of these players on Ravens continue to struggle, especially so on defense.
Nastie, though, having a whale of a time. 15 and 13. He's getting very much involved. Here we go. Stuns up. trophies, you name it. We're gonna not let the same shenanigans befall us if you're the Subliners. Big defensive work already. Scrapz finds one, dips out, plays it safe. aBeZy, another win for him. Forward you go. Skyz though, the brick wall. Ooh, Paul out of bloody nowhere. Takes his head clean off, gets on a B.
And a little fight for mid-map control as well. Nastie doesn't quite make the reads, and Priestahh gonna open it up. So Subliners now, you're jumping on the point from two different directions in KiSMET 21 and 11. Another two-piece around this B zone. I mean, he has truly made that his home, and flanks coming through, does get red, so London for the moment, two players around A, but I think Subliners not interested in giving it away for free. You see KiSMET so quick to get in the mix.
He's trying to stop it. 5 now in a row for KiSMET. Lordy, he's still going. Tagged up, no problem. Scrapz wins it. One bullet would have made the difference. Now you clean up the point. HyDra now doing what he can to take care of Scrapz. You've made A safe. Will the Ravens be able to get towards B? I don't think so. The spawns are all over, but you're still holding a foothold here at A.
Gotta check the corners. Hey, at least get the trade. Still trying to keep things open. And honestly, maybe a two-front war. Nastie's making plays over towards the B zone. Two players for London over towards A. So it is scattered battles across the board. Scrapz is going to have maybe a 2 versus 1. Nastie going to try to fend off all of New York, but it looks like that B zone for London may be collapsing as the slow A capture continues.
Slow, steady, but it's getting done. Ravens win this fight. Scrapz, you get yourselves streaks and you get yourselves the A zone. Good work there from the Ravens. Will he be able to find the kill as well? Teammates are there. Forward now on to B to try to force the round 5.
And I think, but you got number 1, Priestahh, maybe going through a flank through the middle of the map, trying to keep things controlled. London actually has so much pressure over towards the bedroom, and in the meantime, there's the cruise for Scrapz. I think they know that Skyz is going to be behind him, and if they did it before, they certainly do now. Clean shots coming through. Scrapz has rocketed up this round.
7 spree for Matty Marshall now. 1 minute 20 remaining on the clock, and here come the Ravens. Forward on the point, guns up. Priestahh dropped once again. Scrapz finding the kills. 3-man stack now for the Ravens. They are looking to force the final round.
He's by himself, though. I mean, that was straight up beams, but needs to get a couple more. 2 players jumping on him. Trophy out. He does get traded. And it looks like New York have 2 players that made it towards the bedroom, but it seemed lying in wait. Got the stuns out as well. There's 2 players underneath him. I don't understand why these stuns do not connect.
Yeah, well, they're looking to try to dodge this. 21-9 out of Matty Marshall. Can he catch another one here with the cruise? It's going to be close. No cigar. Priestahh and HyDra, they find the kills, and his teammates seem still alive above him. Oh, now he's in the elevator shaft. KiSMET a day to come around that corner. He's ready to rock and roll. Here comes the fight. Oh, KiSMET absolutely floors him. You're running out of time, and you're running out of lives, London.
Yeah, KiSMET is winning all the big gun fights, but the lives might be where this round gets decided. 9v7 advantage for New York, and more pressure on London to jump on the point. Just get your trades. That's all Subliners need to do, and they're getting the entries as well.
3 life lead will help for now. Here comes Paul. Big win. Any more to be had here in this position? Less than 30 seconds remaining on the round. KiSMET, he is still running wild.
And London, they're going to try to maybe triple stack this point, but they know they're jumping into a pinch, and they're getting picked apart along the way. Subliners 7v3 for the game. Looking to go up 3-1. A scene, last-ditch effort, only 10 seconds to go.
Oh, we're going to need to see something real special here from the Ravens, and we're running out of lives, running out of time, and that is going to be that. It's going to be a 3-1. Nastie, the last man here. There is no hope in hell. And there we go. The New York Subliners take control.
Comfortable, clean, and easy. KiSMET having himself an absolute blinder of a game. Blinder's a good thing, right?
Great thing.
Blinder of a game, 29 and 15. The number of 2 pieces he was collecting over by the B zone, I mean, simply untouchable, it felt like, on that map. So they might have dropped one round on defense. Other than that, clinical performance. And even for Scrapz, I mean, one of his best efforts. Goes on a massive tear in that final round, but not enough of a difference maker towards the end. It is quite literally just the slaying prowess of just KiSMET. He was the guy.
He was the guy. I mean, Scrapz on the other side, we saw the streaks, good stuff out of them, but for the Ravens, not able to force that final round. And probably for the good thing, chance, they're not great in those final rounds. Tons sent me a text, they're like 0-5. So Ravens, they needed to win it 3-1. Sadly, couldn't get it done. Hotel continues to be a problem for the London Royal Ravens here in the series, chance.
And again, the setup for the Ravens was not the expectation they were going to win the map. There was just a little bit of potential, but there is a lot of bit of potential on the Fortress hardpoint, where they have a 3-1 record. aBeZy is one of the best players in the game on this map, and he honestly might be the man that needs to step up and fry. You're going to need Scrapz. You need everyone on your best right now for London, but the record across the board, better than the New York Subliners. And Obviously, that doesn't make it easy. If KiSMET shooting like that, if HyDra just wants to, you know, show up and start gunning people, which he always does, aBeZy can be his playground. But that is sort of the path to success for Ravens. It was always going to be a 2-4-5. Uncharacteristic, not a Neslo, but you're looking at the highlights for the control. Most of it's going to be on the New York Subliners side because it's Hotel. It's their home.
Well, it's their home, man. We have to go to the game 5. Well, we're leaning that way indeed. Subliners out, highlights across the control game we just saw. Decisive at very strong moments, and again, big slaying there out of KiSMET. Once again, the playmaker, the big man on that team. Ravens now staring down the barrel of defeat. And ladies and gentlemen, this is an elimination matchup. The loser goes home here at the Major.
And it'd be a fun one indeed, just to see if these teams get eliminated again. New York, I know, comfortable in this series for the moment, but still a scary place to find yourself in losers bracket because it is a lot of sharks in the water down in losers. Even just the number of like 2, 3, 5 potential. Vegas is in the mix in the bottom. Same with Florida. It is a scary place to be, but, you know, it was a losers bracket run for New York. Not quite from the same point, but at Major 1. So they're just looking to replicate their success. And for London, looking for just a little bit of hope.
Well, we'll see if they can get it. It's coming up in just a brief moment, ladies and gents. Fortress Hardpoint will nearly get in that one. Ravens, bit of an advantage going into this chance. We'll see how it goes. But for now, hey, New York Subliners, they did a surprising loss, I think, in day 1. We'll see if they can bounce back and keep running through the tournament. It would be a surprise if our Major 1 champions got double first rounded. It would.
That would
it
be
really
a
would.
massive surprise. Or maybe not a surprise for like the way it's been the follow-up year on Vanguard. A lot of teams a little bit inconsistent. You go from the best, you go to the worst next event, and then you win the third event. Never know what you're going to be able to predict. And the exact same thing can be said for the aBeZy or Hardpoint, because the last 2 times that London have played it, both of those games were within 10 points. They have just been delivering nail biters on this map. So maybe they can have the same against New York.
May God have mercy on the pick'ems, because it's all up in the air. I didn't even get my pick'ems in this event. I'm embarrassed to admit that on air. Did you?
I haven't done pick'ems at all this year. So
oh, for the love of all things sacred, get us into this game, ladies and gents. We're almost ready to rock and roll here. But hey, it's been a lot of fun so far in Boston. I know that the Subliners fans, you see quite a few of them in the venue. Of course, not too far to, you know, make that hop, skip, and a jump over here to Boston. There's not a lot of love in the crowd, but hey, they're having a good time indeed. For the Ravens, it looks like there might be an audio issue on stage. We're getting dealt with that ASAP. I'm excited to see how Asim can go, Chance. Again, you gave him a lot of love coming into this matchup as a sort of playmaker, difference maker for his boys, but let's see what happens. Paul's looking very focused indeed. Nastie's had a great series so far in Scrapz. Is that the turnaround moment for him? Is he hot now, Chance? Is he ready to go? Is it the Matty Marshall of old?
Well, I mean, okay, it's a bit too soon to make that call, but the potential is there. I mean, the gun's hot. He was absolutely slaying, but it is literally all 4 players across the board for Ravens that need to show up and play at their absolute best. When they actually played at the start of the year, Nastie had, again, one of the best performances of his career, so Nastie's always going to be a guy to look out for as well. But Asim on this map, you see his ranks in the hardpoint. I was not joking when I said one of the best in the game on this map, mostly with the Vaznev, but a little bit with the TAC too, so he can mix things up when he needs to. A very situational player, but again, Asim, you don't expect him to be the main slayer, but this is where he has been just unreal so far this season.
He found himself in that spot in the team, and he's making the most of it. Can the Ravens pull out a much-needed win here, force that game 5, give himself a hope here at Major number 2, aBeZy Fortress Hardpoint, map number 4. Here in this series, let's get it, Shots.
And it should be New York starting on the preferred side, so the opening breaks, always something you need to make sure you lock down. I mean, you have teams like, I think even Toronto are probably a prime example. If they're on the good side, if they want to set up the spawn trap, as soon as they get it, they never look back and dominate. Subliners need to look to recreate that same type of success, because I know New York Subliners, the record isn't quite as good. I know quite a few of those losses are when they start on the opposite side of the map, so they're looking to make the best of that early opportunity.
If the London Royal Ravens can make that early break towards B2 and see them fly out the top side of that fortress, and in they go. Nastie, first man of the feed. Okay. No, Nastie gets himself 2. You might be able to flip those spawns straight away. Good opener here. Can he get any more? No, unfortunate timing. Sweet hops from Priestahh. To stop the bleeding somewhat for the New York Subliners.
Yeah, still though, you always have players kind of nearby Scrapz with an opportunity and making the best of it to try and deliver. Picks up the 2 beats towards the middle of the map, and now Ravens at least can get out through P1. So maybe the moment to see if you can get through Asim with the next kill. And right now, just off of the pure slang, London, this is a wonderful opening break.
20 seconds to go here on the point. HyDra cleans them up, no problem. The flip there. Unfortunate timing. I mean, the spawns are all over the place right now. I'm going to keep my mouth stum until we getting in the next sort of hard point. But Ravens looking to make the break over towards 2. You've got HyDra in position already by the Gallows. Good looks at the Subliners.
Man, that could have been a moment for Nastie too. Might have had a 1v1 gunfight around the point, but now he's playing up top. He's playing for control, and now you got to worry about the spawns for New York, because I don't think they're going to spawn in the back. They're going to be across the entire map. At least one of them is. You get the splits, because it's never easy to predict, and I think Subliners happy for the splits, because now you actually have number 2 watching the pins through the middle of the map, and the spawns give it, and the spawns take it away. I think New York trying to take full advantage. HyDra got all the intel, but doesn't have his life.
All right, the Subliners players are literally everywhere. Here come the Ravens now, flying forward. KiSMET, oh, baby, gets 2. The trophy for the Ravens will not find a single thing. Over to the next point we go, 30 seconds in advance, and HyDra's already cleaning up.
And that's a moment that honestly, I mean, you don't want to call GG this early, but that is a pain point for London. As soon as you lose that gunfight on the right side, that is a clean rotation. At least you do get the scrap, so we'll be close to a tied up game. And honestly, maybe 10 seconds to try to make this break, and now number 2 spawning out. So try to read these spawns with players spawning in and out across the map constantly.
Subliners perfectly set up for nearly every single possible scenario. Not to mention KiSMET on the other side of the fortress wall, finding kills all over the place as well. So this is a brilliant moment for the New York Subliners to push this lead almost well out of reach for the Ravens.
Well, straight up 4v4, all guns ahead, but Scrapz that first one to fall. It is a slow approach on this break. They're not playing at light speed, and they are going to get picked apart along the way. Perfection right there for New York, and I mean a comfortable one right now for a couple of these players. Priestahh having a decent start. He's on a 4 spree. HyDra doing HyDra things, and right now, Subliners, they barely have to move.
Oh, moving a whole lot. A little bit of pressure now. The Ravens, they're starting to run out of gas in this hit. They are indeed. KiSMET pushes forward, drives the dagger in, slows them right down. Paul's going to spawn towards that side of the map. Now, again, for the Ravens here, it's a tough scoreline, but you can keep the Subliners pinned. You can get over towards cannons and get things going for the next hard point. But Priestahh, that's 5.
And this is also not a good look, right? We brought up aBeZy for having some of the best stats in this game on this map. Well, 2 and 10 right now, and that was probably the least mixy hill we've ever seen on aBeZy. A very comfortable, not quite full 60, but might as well have been. But Subliners trying to chain it together. First one in, aBeZy wins the gunfight though, and maybe HyDra the next one in line, but Paulek's gonna fall, and Subliners have just gone from one side of the map to the other. They are just easily and comfortably out-rotating the Ravens.
They are Major 1 champions, and they are a major problem for many teams here in the league. Nastie tries to fly in, doesn't get a whole lot. KiSMET's there to get it. Paul next up to the plate. Will he swing for the fences, or will he be struck out? Here we go, over 100 points for the Subliners.
I think, Paul, maybe the moment to try to get in the mix. I mean, it feels like Ravens are honestly just playing a little bit slow as well. As far as aBeZy goes, if you're going to play slow, you got to be on point with the breaks, but that's not the case. They get picked apart. Another 2-piece from HyDra, and this scoreline has started to get completely out of control. More than 100-point lead going into new, and you see the rotation again. Subliners always on top of things, putting the pressure. The snakes don't help. Now you get number 4 HyDra sitting in new. Subliners right now, they can do no wrong. Whatever they want to make happen, they succeed.
Well, the Ravens, they are struggling left, right, and center. Another hard point up, and it's full control for New York. Can the Ravens get close enough to even deal damage? 4 and 10 for Nastie. Slow stuff out of him. 4 and 14 for aBeZy. Not really able to get things going. It is Priestahh, and it is HyDra who are running the show. HyDra on a 7 spree right now, and soaking the time.
And once again, it almost just feels like a slow game where HyDra just gets to chill in a corner, iron up, and know exactly where he needs to look. Number 9, if he could have gotten it, but the legs a little bit too strong on the horse, and maybe an opportunity for Ravens to get a life. And finally, the first full 4-man down feed that they have had, and they do have almost all the Subliners. 3 of them spawn on the right side, number 3 spawn on the left, and again, good luck trying to read that.
Yep, they're going to do their best. The guns are up. It was not quite enough. All angles covered from the Subliners. A gift from the COD gods. Chance maybe keeping the time going. To see him winning the fight now. Trying to keep him out the hard point. Back over though to number 1 we go, and the Ravens still suck at that tough 40 number.
That is always just the toughest thing. We need to get the clean 4 down. Most of the guys spawn in the spawn trap, and 1 spawns out, but hey, look at where all the Ravens just spawned, and Subliners are going to read it as soon as their spawn comes up. So a mixy map for the moment, and a P1 for Ravens to try to take advantage of and maybe get the slaying hot. The best they have looked in the kill feed so far this entire game. HyDra though, next one in line, forces a team kill and collects. And look at number 3, spawns out.
Priestahh. Skyz get kills with a pistol in the kill feed as well. I mean, it is starting to get real ugly. Subliners running the show. Hard point number 1 in their hands. Number 2, they've got map control 4 as well. Can the Ravens get some pressure on? They have to stop this slow and steady accumulation of points out of New York. And so far, Scrapz the man to get it. Crossfire's in. Priestahh's there for the kills. And now he's on the hunt.
And on the hunt maybe for those spawns, because spawn management has been sort of the theme of this map so far, because you see HyDra, he spawned up over towards mid, he's found his way in the back, and I know a couple of his teammates are falling and still running across the map, and HyDra gets found out, so London do all of the work trying to create this opportunity. And again, they've been picking up in the slaying department just a little bit.
Yep, picking up the time now, getting the kills going, slowly but surely the momentum in their favor. Let's go for a quick listen in with the London Royal Ravens.
I'm starting in your open.
I need you open too.
I'm close. Focus open. It open. I have open.
One's weak, open up there.
Close.
I have open. I pinch.
Close. One wasn't open.
Go one.
Close again.
In the back.
Close. Watch out. Close.
Skyz open and close. I'll go to Cellium.
Listen, he ran away, Matt. He's mouse on us, guys.
Yep.
Bench, I got spawn killed. He's running away, Matt. Nice.
I'm full stunned.
One's probably going to be doubles. There's something cutting you. You need to go, guys. You need to go.
I'm going.
I spawned her.
You're gonna be back right, you know.
Yeah, I'm gonna go top map.
Nice.
Let's go. They got me, nice.
Nice, good job. All out. They're all out.
Now come on, guys. 460. We're good.
One maps to top maps.
Let's spawn front. You got time, yeah?
Yeah.
You got time, yeah?
I'm getting wood door. Hold my maps.
with you.
Hold my maps.
Okay, bet. I'll get your maps.
Maps up.
I'm just rolling my front. I might need help, guys.
I can help you from the way.
pressure.
You gotta be just keep showing simple.
Top maps. I fell.
Nothing can charm out.
Matt, you help him if he needs help.
Front. All four. I need help. I'm more chat.
Stay there.
They're just gonna play to keep it wide.
Yeah.
Chow together. 3, 2, 1. Chow. Two more front.
Nice.
Top maps, challenge you aggressive. Medium weak. Top maps too.
I know, siege.
On the stairs.
On the time weak. One. Map stairs.
All maps inside maps. One behind top maps. We spawn here.
1P1 front.
We need to go out. Yeah, trying to get
That's
this
my last, give me enough room.
I
One corner.
Ravens not out of gas just yet. The chance, it always hurts when the 3-2-1 go doesn't work out.
No, that's a pain point for sure. Love the idea, but they were looking for a full 60. Instead, the Subliners just made it mixy, and it's a 90-point lead on aBeZy, where again, back to a hill that last go around. New York absolutely locked down, and Asim ends up finding the entry. 3 players right now for the Ravens, potentially all 4, trying to work this flank. KiSMET reads it all day, collects the first, and even with 2 HP, tries to turn it into something, but there you go, Ravens. Still more life, still able to get the break. And they're trying, man. They really are.
They are trying. They need it. This is it. The final moments for the London Royal Ravens here at Major 2, unless they turn this map around. Scrapz upstairs. Wins a big one. HyDra's brought down. Priestahh now trying to get involved. Scrapz finds his second. Can the back door remain safe? It does. Paul is there. It's 4 down for the New York Subliners.
4 down. Hey, if they get another clean one again, always that long-term potential on this map. You can go on absolute runs, and if you're New York, you just want to stabilize. Get behind enemy lines, be annoying and play for kills, but KiSMET can't do it. He gets caught. Skyz, him and HyDra, the next pair that are in line. Blacksmith Hill is not an easy one to end on, and for 44 seconds right now for Subliners to win, it'll be very difficult to do it here.
Right, hold it down. HyDra makes the top. What was that?
He's looking for a weapon. He's hanging out.
Was he looking for a weapon, or was it?
For a weapon.
It was not a single bag. We'll come back to that one later. The refs will be dealing with that. HyDra on a 3, 4. Oh, that was a bit more! He wasn't looking for a weapon that time. It's getting ugly here on Fortress.
With the least intense face cam I've ever seen. HyDra is just feeling 0 pressure, and maybe there are bags on aBeZy trying to make some more for him. And just another spree on this hill, by the way. He went on an 8 last go around. Now he's trying to one-up himself. Only got to 6 that time, but 32 and 18. I think HyDra having a little bit of fun.
Our point in the hands of the Ravens for now. Can they keep it together? Not a whole lot of coverage here as KiSMET just waiting patiently for that little player to poke around the corner. Nastie, it vacates the point. Time's done. Here come the streaks. Unhappy skies above for these teams, but the Subliners have got full control chance. 9 seconds for the win.
Well, full control of at least the old hill, but new the Ravens do have. I'm trying to figure out if it's more disrespectful just to hit him with a single bag or maybe the single flank. HyDra there to shoot a player in the back, and after near the hill, you're a little bit more scared, but they take care of it. But again, the spawn management for London, they are constantly spawning out, and so is New York. And now New York, this is it. You're in prime position to break this hill.
Here we go. This is it. Final moments here for the Ravens. Naves have got to be through. Wrong names, HyDra. They'll take it, though. Anyone there to get going? No, the Ravens have been held back, pinned down. Quote the Ravens, nevermore. They are done. New York Subliners finish this series up 250 to 165, and we say a fond farewell to the London Royal Ravens here at Major 2.
At the end of the day, and at the end of, at least today, of the Major, number 1 versus number 12. That is simply how that series is going to go. HyDra again, comfortable performance, had 27 non-traded kills. He had more non-tradeds than anybody in the lobby had total outside of KiSMET, but SMG dominance there, I'd say, on aBeZy. Just respawn dominance straight across the board right there from New York. And I think ultimately, maybe want to look back at that Mercado, but otherwise a very comfortable performance to start their day.
Yeah, Ravens exceptionally strong in the Mercado. Search and destroy, not able to pull too much out elsewhere. The respawns did not go their way. New York Subliners, a very formidable opponent indeed. We will see the Ravens return in the run to Major 3, but for now, the run here at Major 2 continues for the boys in yellow.
And it is a good look, right? Again, Mercado is side, clean efficiency, great in the comms. I mean, even like the intensity on the Subliners' faces, they just look like, again, another day. Could have been a scrim, could be a Major. For those guys in that series, no difference.
Confidence is key, as we say, but there we go. The end of the series, and a strong one for the Subliners. And HyDra has been welcomed to the stage with open arms and a French flag here in Boston. We'll see him in just a brief moment. But Chance, I mean, it was a strong showing out of New York. Is what we expected, but is it enough? Are we seeing the New York Subliners return to the form we saw at Major 1? Still a lot of sharks here in the lower bracket.
Oh, I think absolutely. I don't think it's a return to form. I think they never lost their form, right? I think even some of the losses they had, they're just playing around with maps. So I think the losers bracket run will be in full force for the team.
No more trolling in the vetoes. We'll see how they do later on in the competition. But for now, it's over to Guy Blaze with KiSMET and HyDra.
Thank you so much, Miles and Chance. Yeah, I had to get Paco up on the stage. You know, we love hearing from him. Give it up for the Subliners as they get the day started off right. KiSMET, my first question, are you well rested today?
Finally, man. Yesterday was horrible, bro. I was up on the airport floor for the first time, 38-hour trip. It was rough. I don't even have my luggage. This is TJ Maxx, so shout out them.
Hey, you look comfy though, okay? And your shot's looking right. Now, tell me about this series right here. What was the game plan? You guys look comfortable, but you're in the losers bracket, right? What's going to be y'all game plan going forward as well?
I made a tweet about it last night, and we talked about it. I mean, going to losers, it sucks, but it's only one extra series. So it's not like anything crazy. I think yesterday, like, I won't say it's a fluke. Like, they played good. I don't want to discredit them, but like, it just sucks because we did not feel 100%. And you know, it is what it is, but we move forward, and we're just, you know, one step at a time.
One step at a time, okay? Now pass the mic on over to your teammate Paco over here, because that last map right there, you were playing out of your mind, okay? How you feeling about the competition? How you feeling today?
I'm feeling way better today, obviously, because I had my sleep. And I don't know.
Well, hey, I tell it to you like this, Paco, okay? What do you want to do here this weekend, okay? What's your ultimate goal?
I'm here to win. And obviously, like, I'm trying, like, to be, like, like, back-to-back.
Yeah?
Like, yeah.
Hey, go back-to-back. You got the opportunity right now. Anything you want to say to these fans here so they can stay hype all weekend long?
I love the French flag. Let me tell you. I love the French flag. And I love PSG too. So that's my 5-2 supporter for sure. And, yeah, I don't know.
All right. Hey, give it up for Paco and the New York Subliners, okay? We're going to let them come out here and get ready for their next series. Chris, take us home.
We love the support here in the venue from everybody, not just the Charlie card users. Welcome back in, everyone. We got to break down what we just saw. It's like the smart pass you used to get on the subway here in Boston. We got to talk about what we just saw there, because that was a quick 3-1. But we did get to a game 4. Credit to London for winning the search and destroy. But as we take a look at the bracket, London coming in with the 9 through 12 seed. That is where they will leave this event. The Subliners are moving on, and you can see they will play a second time today. We have a bonus 5th match at the end of the night. That'll be against the winner of the LA Thieves or the Mutineers. Do you feel good if you're Subliners about this draw now, Ton?
You still feel good, look, they're saying that they're rested after yesterday. I know KiSMET's trying to give some credit, but that is definitely something that would have played a factor in their matchup. Now feeling good, it's only one extra series. They've got to be feeling nice.
Here's a look at some of the highlights from this 4th game, and I was sitting up next to some Boston fans. They said, Priestahh's off to a hot start. He just kept frying at the first 30 minutes, it felt like, and then we saw it again in game 4. Towards the end, though, HyDra put on a show, and KiSMET warned us on Sunday. He said, when HyDra and I are playing our best, this team is going to go places today. They're moving forward with ease.
Yeah, and they can do it with all the respawns, right? They took all 3 in this series. That map to S&D, I do want to give a little more props to on the Royal Ravens rather than how York Subliners fell short. These were 2 teams that were very average overall in Search and Destroy. So if you're a Royal Ravens fan, at least you can go home with that they are improving at least somewhere. But for the New York Subliners, I mean, it's business per usual for this team.
Brycey, I have to ask you, is HyDra the best player to ever come out of France?
Yes, he is actually, and that's maybe slightly controversial, but realistically, nobody else has done it from France on the main stage like he has, and continues to do so.
He's definitely in the running for our Scuff Player of the Match, and this time, though, it's going to be the other SMG that earns the honors of our Play of the Game from Scuff. Let's take a look at it. It's KiSMET, the Bulldog. Control was his. 3 down, the man breaks back in, and it just seemed like he was always in the right place at the right time, dominating these rotations.
He's so good at that, just putting himself in the right positions for the team. HyDra may well be that flashy player, but KiSMET not only does the dirty work, he finds the kills on top of it as well. Very much one of those things that Bryce alluded to. The Rootmen, the SMGs are the playmakers for these squads right now, and there's no better than KiSMET.
I love what we're seeing from the Subliners. They got to keep this energy up, though, all day. It's a Super Friday, 5 matches, and we have 4 more continuing after this. Before we go, though, quick reminder, you got to get your gear, right, aLLeY? You got to get over to the CDL shop, pick up your hats, your hoodies, your t-shirts, and more.
Yeah, especially with how cold it's been here in Boston. If you happen to be here at the event, pick up a hoodie to represent your favorite team. I know there's some booths here as well.